Let's just begin this exploration by walking very slowly in space. I want you to imagine that you're learning to walk for the very first time, which means that you're really paying attention to the way your foot connects with the floor beneath you. You're paying attention to the way the heel and the toes have to move away from each other for the steps to be formed. So taking your attention just to the foot for now and finding a way to not be aware so much of the environment in which you are located as you are exploring this process with me together. So let's continue to take a few more steps. And then when you're ready and noticing how you know you're ready, I want us to take a pause, to stop. And when you have found your impulse to pause, notice your relation with your feet. Pay attention to where is the weight on your feet. Is it more on the right or left? Is it more forward on the balls of the feet or more back on the heel? Don't change anything, just become aware of what happens when you pause. Also notice your relation with your breath. The breath is something that's happening all the time in the background. Air goes in, air goes out. And then when you're ready, I want us to continue to move at the speed that feels like you won't lose yourself. So not super slow, but also not very, very fast. And continuing to connect with your feet and taking as many steps as you may require. And notice what it feels like now, what has changed from the first time you started to move, to walk, and what has shifted for you after the pausing. Notice what thoughts are present and what feelings are you aware of. Not changing anything, not pushing them away or becoming stuck in them, but just noticing. And then when you're ready, and notice how you know about your readiness, I want you to find a way to shift from walking to sitting. So attention is not so much on where to sit, but how do we listen to our body and know it's time to sit. And when you have found your impulse, follow that and find a seat. And this quality of sitting could feel different or new. And just like we started to think about the first time we're doing things, I want you to imagine that this is the very first time you have learned to sit on your butt. And notice the qualities of that experience. How are you holding yourself? Where do you notice are places of ease and comfort, and how do you experience the strain or the tension? And our attempt here is to not change anything, but to notice what is present here and now. And then finding a way to pause this experience and to be able to hold the experience, use sounds. So I'm going to invite you to find a sound that can express the quality of what you're noticing, a way that you are expressing your voice. Find a sound that holds your experience. And once you have found the sound, stretch it out. Stretch the sound. So, for example, if my sound is ah, find a way to really stretch it out. So, ah, ah, ah. Be a bit playful with it. Sometimes we may feel self-conscious, and acknowledge that quality of feeling self-conscious as I just did now, and continue to imagine that you're a little toddler who is just learning how your voice sounds in the world. Ah, and find one part of that sound that really feels like it's speaking to you, it's saying something to you. And once you locate that, and you'll know that yourself immediately, listen to what the sound is letting you know, what feels important to hear. And often I invite for the first word or a first feeling or an image that may come up in response, and really trusting that it may take some time. And once you have found what is important to acknowledge here, finding a way to shake off any energies that are present with you now, or thoughts that are not useful. You could stretch your body, you could clear your throat, you could make faces with your mouth, and then when you're ready, and find ways to transition out of this process. I hope you found this exploration useful.